Folks, so many people think they're smarter than the market. I'll get into that. And then the latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending February 28th, 2024. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. In the description below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. So what do I mean by so many people think they're smarter than the market? Well, just that. So many people think they can predict what's going to happen. They could predict a few months out. They can predict a few years out, and they do it with confidence and certainty. Now, there's lots of people that get paid to predict. These are the economists. These are the big shot bank executives. These are the people working for the Bank of Canada. And those people that are supposed to be the experts, they can't get it right. How are you going to get it right? How am I going to get it right? I know I can't predict with any kind of certainty what's going to happen in the future. Yet I deal with people every day, and I see people every day trying to predict, and they act confident that they know what's going to happen, and they don't. I'll give an example. Last year, we were talking to a client about putting their property for sale, and they had to sell. They were in a predicament where they had to get out of their home, and we're getting the home ready. We've got the stage organized, photographers, so forth. We're in the week that we're getting the home ready, excuse me, and the homeowner calls me, says, Santo, let's wait a month. I said, what for? He says, the market's going to be stronger next month. So I asked, how do you know that? And he says, well, I just know next month is almost always better than this month. I expect it to be better next month. And so I went to go see them at their home, and we sat down. I said, look, we spoke about this the other day. We know right now with relative certainty what's happening. Look what happened with this house, this house, this house, and these are homes in his neighborhood all around his home. We know what's happening right now. So you want to leave the security of knowing what's happening now for something in 4 weeks from now where we really don't know. And he says, yeah, but I would expect a market, I could probably get $50,000 more for my home. And that $50,000 means a lot to me and my family. Of course, I can appreciate $50,000 extra in a family's bank would mean more. There's lots of families that would mean a lot to, every family. But I said, well, what if it was $50,000 the other way? He goes, no, it won't be. Okay, so look, my role as a realtor is more of a consultant. I can't make anybody do anything. I can consult, I can give my opinion, but the client is going to do what's best for their family. And so we waited, and the market turned around. The week that we went on the market, that week, the market turned around. It was almost like somebody had shut off the tap. And unfortunately, things did not work out in that client's favor. It would have been better if we were on the market at the time that we were. And this gentleman, like many other people out there, and it's not just sellers, it's buyers too. It's like everybody's an expert. And when the big shots out there, the mega educated professional economists can't get it right, somehow, some way, the homeowner, the buyer, the first-time home buyer believes they can get it right and predict the future. The market is unforgiving. What you know versus what you don't, and thinking about the future, it's almost like gambling. You feel it'll be better for you. It may or may not be. But one thing's for sure, the real estate market, especially in the GTA, it's not like it used to be. It used to be a slow burn. People used to say, well, when it starts going up, then I'll jump in before it gets to the top. Nobody knows when that is. Or as it starts going down, then I'll jump in and sell before it gets to the bottom. I'll sell when it's still high. Well, maybe one day it used to be slow like that. Not anymore. It seems, it feels, things happen so quickly now. The tap is open right now. You're going to see when I show you the months of inventory, extremely low. The tap is open right now, but it could shut off real quick. In a matter of a week, things could change that quickly. We see it from the numbers. We as realtors see it from being with buyers and sellers every day. It could literally change overnight sometimes, it feels. It's that quick. Predicting it is a fool's game. There's lots of people struggling right now and lots of people trying to get into the market right now. Many have made choices about waiting. Over the last few years, many have made choices about waiting. Some of them were priced out of the market now. They can't buy because prices are higher than what they were before. It seems the best advice is do what's best for you now. If you can get into the market, great. If you can sell and the numbers are favorable, great. But try to time it. You're going to screw it up more than you get it right. We see this often. It is a fool's game trying to predict the absolute best time to sell or to buy. Thank you for watching. If you get value from what we're talking about, consider subscribing. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, pass it along. And again, if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here or below, there's a link to my calendar. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, the market could change really quick. Let's get right into the numbers here. So here's a quick summary. Detached, semis and towns. Now this is just for the city of Toronto. And I've put condos here just to show the difference. We're not talking about condos. That's a different show. Tomorrow's show is all about condos. Today we're going to talk about the freehold market for the city of Toronto. But the difference between the average condo price of $715 versus the average detached price, it's almost $1 million. It's $996,000. Let's get started with the detached market. Again, just for the city of Toronto, I have a whole year here broken down by week. 149 detached properties were sold. Sales are trending up, pretty clear. The amount of condos selling at the amount of detached properties selling at $2 million or more is 38. That number's trending up. So you got more sales, more properties selling at $2 million. Plus, average sold price jumped up to $1,711,000. Overall, I would say this year prices are trending up. Not necessarily every week, but overall trending up. Now, 711, we've got to go back to the end of June before that, where we were consistently higher than 1.7. There's a couple of weeks along the way where they were higher, but overall, it's been a while that we've been consistently higher than 1.7. Now, this is just 1 week. I'm not saying right now we're consistently higher. I'm just showing you the contrast here. Compared to last year, 1,711,000 is 1% higher than where we were this time a year ago. And if we kind of compare since the beginning of the year, we are 2, 3, 4% higher, well, we were. And now since February started, we're 3 and 4% lower, and now we're 1% higher. So between the 3, 4% up or down has kind of been the average over the course of this year so far, this year's prices versus a year ago. The median price of 1,450 is 7% higher year over year. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. It's pretty clear over the last couple months here. February, since the middle of January, average prices and median price are trending up in the detached market. 149 were sold, pretty similar to what we sold this time a year ago. Although if we look back, it's off and on whether we're selling a little more, a little less than what we did a year ago. But the real number to look at is 61% of those 149 that were sold, 61% sold at list price or more. The market is getting more competitive right now. 276 were listed. We've been consistently over the last few weeks listing more detached properties than were listed a year ago. 979 at the end of February 28th were available for sale. Now 979 is 162 more than we had available this time a year ago. So there's a lot more properties on the market, detached properties, and months of inventory sitting at 1.5 months of inventory, overall trending down. Months of inventory, as you know, is the relationship between supply and demand. As months of inventory come down, means the market's tighter. We're going to burn through or buy up all the properties that are for sale quicker as months of inventory come down, which leads to the whole thought of, well, if we're going to buy everything quicker, faster, that's going to push prices up. And that's what we're seeing. As months of inventory comes down, prices usually will trend up in this type of market. But that's the whole city, all detached properties for all the city of Toronto, not the GTA, just the city of Toronto. It's 1.5. Let's look at the whole city though, broken down into different sections. So if the whole city is 1.5, then you've got areas like Scarborough. So 1 month of inventory, way more competitive than say the whole city as an average. 1 month of inventory, 70% of those properties sold at list price or more. Does price point have something to do with it? For sure it does. Scarborough, average price is $1,221,000. But then you got Riverdale, East York here. 1 month of inventory also, 3/4, 75% of those properties sold at list price or more. Average price there is over $1.7 million. High Park, only 9 properties sold, but 67% sold at list price or more. 1.4 is the months of inventory. Look here, the most expensive area here, York Mills, Rosedale. Average price is more than $3.1 million, the average price. More than half, 57% sold at list price or more. Months of inventory, higher than the whole city, sitting at 2.5 months of inventory. So the buying or selling experience is going to be very different depending on which part of the city, the price point, the home type, very, very different. I'm generalizing to give you an idea of generally where the market is headed right now. And it seems trending down and prices trending up. Here's semis. 55 semi-detaches were sold, or semi-detached properties were sold. 11 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price, $1,240,000. That came down from the previous week, but overall, prices for semis have been trending up. 1240 is 3% higher year over year. The median price is 6% higher year over year. And you can see the dotted line, which is the 4-week moving average, trending up. 0.9 is the months of inventory. That's extremely low, very much a seller's market when it comes to semi-detached properties. If we contrast November, December, we're sitting at 2.2, 2.3, 1.9, 0.9. It's a completely different buying experience or selling experience, a different world when it comes to the real estate market. 0.9 versus 2 months of inventory, say. Here's townhouses. 21 townhouses were sold. Is that a record? I'm not sure. 21 just seems like so much. There's not too many weeks, and here's a whole year where we're higher than 20, but 21 were sold. 3 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Sales, let's say they're trending up. Hopefully next week they don't jump back down to 8, but trending up, average price trending up to, it's now sitting at 1,172,000. 1172 is 17% lower year over year. The median price is 11% lower. 1.1 is the months of inventory. It has jumped up and down over the weeks, but overall 1.1, very competitive. Looks like it's trending down. So here's a quick summary. Again, for comparison, condos is on here. The condo experience, totally different than the freehold market. Those of you still kind of having buyer's market buzzing around in your head, you really should get that out of your head. We are not in a buyer's market, especially when we're talking about the freehold market. We're just not there. Maybe in some areas you'll experience a balanced market, but overall, we're sitting in a seller's market when it comes to the freehold market for the city of Toronto. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.